Hello, everyone. So, today's podcast episode, and I've got my notes to make sure I stay on track today because I get so excited, I kind of go off roading. What can I say? So, today's episode is all about manifesting beyond the butterfly, embracing every stage of transformation. Now, the thing I want to talk about in this is so many people, all of us have heard so many different versions of what manifestation is. And I over the years have realized that they leave a lot of the most important part of the focus. Many of them is what I call the butterfly stage of manifestation, and not also highlighting the important parts, which is the caterpillar stage, the cocoon phase, and then the butterfly phase. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. It's one of the things. And we're going to talk about why manifesting is more than just achieving a goal. It's a journey of vibrational alignment. Now, this is the most important thing, especially if you've tried manifestation, all the different techniques, and nothing is working, or it's not coming through as clearly, or it's taking forever, and then the results that come in don't match what you originally started. So that is the key element that we're going to talk about today is vibrational alignment. And yeah, and so like I said, skips the usual things. Sorry, I've got my little list here. But so basically, the way the perspective is, a lot of it is talking about what I call the butterfly stage, which is many of the exercises will look like they talk about make a list of the things you want to do and then imagine yourself doing it and just make it happen, make it happen, make it happen. And that's the end part. But the two parts that I'm going to talk about, like I said, are going to be the caterpillar and the cocoon phase, which they're not talking about. So let's talk about the caterpillar stage, right? Which is the birth of desire. So manifestation starts with desire, just like a caterpillar starts life hungry. Recognizing desires as sacred callings from the soul, the role of clarity, how to understand what you truly want, okay? Shifting from the lack-based wanting to heart-centered alignment. That's going to be one of the most crucial parts of this. And the practical tools, which we'll be talking about, which is journaling, but doing it in a very non-traditional way. It's going to be a lot more fun. Visualization, which you might have heard of. If you haven't, we're going to go into it. And how you can basically take all of these steps and turning it into something that's what is your deepest desires, something that is a vibrational match. So let's talk about what is the caterpillar stage? So like I just talked about, that's the birth of desire. Whatever it is, if it's a new job, if it's, something smaller, maybe you'd like to manifest like maybe a little side business or something where you make a couple extra $100 a month, which would make a difference in your life. It can be something very small, all the way up to maybe you've always wanted to visit Paris, and that's a huge trip. No matter what size it is in the breath, the most important part is what is the desire in what you are wishing. So when I tell people, when you come up with something you would like to manifest, let's try something big, like a trip to Paris. Maybe that's something romantically you've always wanted to do, not like as with a partner, but in the beauty of exploring the city and its architecture and its art and all of the things about it that is part of that's what wooing you towards it, right? So there's the desire in that. But that's a very specific goal, a trip to Paris. And maybe it's like you've thought so much about it, you're like, okay, I would have to have at least a couple weeks because I would want to travel in the main parts of the city and then maybe explore a little out in the outer lesser known parts, like, and things like that. You probably have so many details in that it's incredibly precise in what you want, right? Now, that is the butterfly. That is the manifestation at the end. So let's talk about what the caterpillar is. What is the desire behind that? And the way to do this, good exercise, you can grab, and you only need like a little piece of paper and a pen. So write on there whatever it is in full detail, as much as you can, of what you want to go ahead and create. Like I said, a trip to Paris, like I said, a new job, whatever it is, whatever the absolute details that you really, really want about that. Write that, take the time to fill up as much as you can on a sheet of paper, all the details, okay? Then I want you to take that and I want you to flip that to the back, and we're not going to look at any more of those details in this process because you've set the bar of what you would like, But now we need to not focus on the details, because the universe is going to take your desire and fill it in the direction you want. But many times the universe will also not only take what you're asking for, but make it even better. And you don't want to micromanage or tie the hands of the universe. You just want to get focused on what you want, right? So get all of those details down on that page, and then we're going to take that off our mind and we're going to flip those to the other side. We're going to go to a blank page. Now, on that blank page, I want you to think about the trip. Best thing to do, I say, is close your eyes for just a minute and just think about whatever it is you want to manifest. Get really clear in your mind. Now, as you're thinking about this and you're putting all those details into place, start now focusing on how do you feel? Are you starting to feel excited? Are you starting to you get your senses woken up? There's so many emotions and feelings that are happening as you're focusing on it. Those feelings are what I want you to write about next. That's the next phase. Remember, this is the caterpillar phase. The butterfly is all the details. We want to get to the desire about it, because the caterpillar stage is the birth of desire. So once you get very clear on what is the desire, what are the emotions, what are the feelings, what is all of those sensations, go ahead and fill that out, because now we've started and we've keyed right into the desire, because it's not really the end result that we're looking for. That's just like something flat, like a piece of paper. We want the whole 3D experience. We want to be in the virtual reality of it. And in that, it produces reactions, emotions, and feelings within us. That's what we want to capture, because that is the vibration. Remember, I said vibrational match of what you want to be able to manifest. Okay. This is the key. This is the big key, because once you get very clear on how you want to feel, then your heart chakra, your heart center, will start vibrating at the vibrations of the emotions and feelings that you want to experience in that. That's the important start stage. Now we're going to talk about the second stage, which is the cocoon stage, which is vibrational alignment. Now that we've got the vibration starting in here, now we have to focus on how do we align us with that vibration to focus in the direction of what we want to manifest. So I'm going to read a little about this. And this is both of these, this and the first one, are the most overlooked stages of this, because this is the transformation that starts to happen inside of you. Because having this amazing desire to experience that is the soul fire behind what we're doing. But now we have to take it within ourselves and take that vibration and align our whole being at that vibrational level. Because when we can match our vibration to what we want to manifest, that is like the key launching point. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So entering the heart chakra, let's talk about letting desire move beyond the mind and into deep belief. Because this, I cannot say it enough, is what all of those other things are missing. You have to take the desire, and it has to come within your heart space, and you shift your vibration to belief, and you become one. It's not like I want to go to Paris. I am in Paris. I am experiencing these feelings. It's going from the wanting stage to the doing stage. This is the soul fire part. This is where the manifestation really comes from, because you can say things 1,000 times, you can write it down 1,000 times, you can imagine it 1,000 times, but unless you open up your heart to receive and truly believe that you are one with the vibration of what you desire, that desire won't manifest into your life. That's why this is incredibly important. So this is also in the surrender and trust stage. Those are going to be incredibly important. Now, this is what I call the discomfort stage of the cocoon, and why patience and faith are a key. So understand what surrender and trust really means. Surrender is not to give up your empowerment. It is actually one of the most self-empowering things you can do. Is once you take your desire, you bring it within self, you connect with it in your heart space, and the belief starts to rise up, That is the most empowering thing, that once that clicks, to just release and surrender, which means you let go of the control of needing to make it happen. Because manifestation isn't about us making it happen. Our whole job is actually very simple. We just have to take our desire within ourselves and create the belief that we are in the moment of what we want to experience. Okay? So, I'm so excited. Sorry, I get so excited because I'm so looking forward to see how many people talk down in the comments. I'd love for you to go through all of this and then come back in a week or two and start talking in the comments about your experiences and what starts to flow in. Okay, so now we're talking about vibrational shifts, aligning your energy with what you want before it arrives. That is the important part. And that's some of the stuff that they talk about in much of manifestation stuff. They talk about, the imagine it's happening. You have to, instead of trying to make it happen, remember, it's not about control. It's becoming, embodying the experience. So when you would close your eyes and imagine it happen, don't imagine it with the energy of trying to pull it to you, because it's not about pulling it to you. It's about becoming a vibrational match for what you want. And then, like magnets, you will attract it in. It's not about exerting the energy to try to pull it in. That's a wanting, that's a craving kind of energy. That's a clinging kind of energy. You want to be like a magnet, right? Okay, so things to do, practices to embody your manifestation now, like we talked about. So meditation for heart chakra activation. I will give you that in just a moment, because that's incredibly important, because your heart chakra, or your heart center, this is the seat of your soul. This is also what holds your inner vibrational GPS system. Your inner navigation system is in here, along with your inner child. Those three incredibly important and powerful energies are sitting right here. So when you activate your heart chakra center, it's what you're turning on and filling it with your soul fire. That is what's going to help you in this manifestation process. And the other one is the embodiment exercises, what we will talk about, which is living as if it's already yours. Part of what you've probably already heard in the butterfly stage of things, but that is also has to start within the heart chakra center. Okay. And affirmations and self-concept shifts. We're going to talk about those too. And then now we're going to talk about the butterfly stage. Now, like I said, this is usually the only stage they talk about in the manifestation process. So hopefully now you're getting an idea. There is a whole other part. Remember the caterpillar phase, which is where the desire is born. Then that desire goes into our heart space in the cocooning phase, where we are transforming the desire, right, into the actual manifestation, which is the butterfly stage. So the butterfly stage is all about the manifestation and now the embodiment part of this. Ooh, so excited. So true manifestation isn't about getting. It's not about getting things. It's about becoming. The butterfly doesn't struggle to fly. It just is. How to recognize when your desires have fully aligned with your vibration and releasing attachment, trusting divine timing. How to hold gratitude and expansion energy to keep attracting. So let's talk about this. So the one thing we'll say is how to recognize when your desire has fully aligned with your vibration. So let's talk about that. So you have the desire. Like I said, we'll just use this for simplistic sake. We'll take the trip to Paris, whatever it was. Maybe there was a book you read, something as a child, something triggered that desire in your life. And at that moment, that became something. Now, it may be something that triggered many years ago, and for a long time, you've been in the wanting stage. The wanting, the craving, the desire, that's still the caterpillar phase. So now we need to welcome that caterpillar into our heart chakra center, okay? And when we are able to take that desire and put it in here, we take it out of the wanting stage. So now when I hold that energy in my heart space and I start doing the same thing I was over there, was thinking about all the beautiful reasons why, and then I start experiencing the emotions. Like say I've always wanted to go to the art museums there. And as I sit here in my heart space thinking of walking through the halls and looking around and seeing everything, I start experiencing the emotions, the feelings, the energy of what it is really like to be in what I want to accomplish. I have now gone from the wanting stage where I look at the thought and think, I really want that, but now I'm embodying it. When you are able to activate that energy, you will feel the difference, because then as you think about the experience you want to have, you now only feel all the excitement, all the energy, all the emotions. The details start coming in so beautifully clear that it is like you are in a virtual reality of what you want to manifest. That's how you know that you're doing it right. Okay, so let's see. Releasing attachment, trusting divine timing. So this is the best time to do it when you are in that moment of experiencing all of these beautiful feelings and emotions, and you imagine yourself walking around. When you're in this joy place of experiencing, just really savoring and just taking it all in that energy, I want you to now, with both hands over your heart, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. And as you breathe out, I want you to think and feel the energy of releasing, releasing, releasing the need to know when this is going to show up, releasing the need to know how, which is probably the biggest thing that holds us all back. Because as soon as we really get into the emotions of it, and then the the brain kicks in over the heart, and you start pulling the energy away from your heart center, which is your power center. And then we start thinking, but how is this going to happen? Because our brains are wired to find the logical easiest route to whatever it is. And if we can't see it, then our fear and doubt kicks in. Then we start disconnecting from those beautiful feelings. So the best time to really do the release for that is in the moment when you are so involved in the beauty of the feelings, in the expressions, and the emotions of what it is going to feel like as you experience it in your mind. In that energy is the perfectly beautiful, safe, and supported space to then release. And go ahead and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. If you need to do that 2-3 times, as every time you breathe in, imagining you're breathing in the energy of all that you wish to experience in this. Bring it in with the breath in. And when you breathe out, you're releasing all resistance. You're releasing all need to know, the how, the why, or the when in that moment. Okay, so now we've gotten truly into that part. So we've released the attachment. The next thing is how to hold gratitude and expansion energy to keep attracting. So we do this meditation thing, and to do a manifestation meditation, I say, in all honesty, I say give yourself at least 30 minutes. And I say the best thing to do, my advice is to set the timer on your phone, set it for 30 minutes. Before you start the timer, I want you to find something that will help you really get into the moment, that will help you tune things out. So the best thing to do is maybe get earbuds, headphones, and I want you to listen to something that may be very much in connection with. And so we're going to do a little planning. So we're going to use the Paris trip again. Now, the interesting thing is, sorry, I need a little water. The interesting thing is, let's take a trip to Paris, right? So I want to tell you right now, believe it or not, there is tons of videos all over YouTube where somebody has recorded walking around the streets of Paris, walking around the museums. So all you hear is the ambient noise around you of the people and the traffic and all the sights and sounds of being in the place that you want to manifest, if that's what it is, right? So that's a great thing to do. Get one of those on your phone through YouTube, find that video, because once you hit the timer, you are going to hit play and you are going to start listening to what it's going to sound like in the space that you're trying to manifest. So if it's, if it's a vacation in Aruba, there is somebody that has probably 8 to 10 hours of the sound of the waves rolling into the shore on a beach in Aruba. So YouTube is going to be one of the most amazing places to find all these ambient noises that are going to help you really manifest what you want, right? So let's use the trip to Paris. So what I'll do is I'll set my timer. I'm going to get ready to push play in just a moment because I want at least 30 minutes for this exercise. Then I want you to go ahead and get ready with that video that's going to be your ambient noise. Get your headset or earbuds ready. Then you go ahead and push play. Then you're going to hit the timer, and then all you're going to need to do is put one hand here, close your eyes, and just sink into the experience of listening to the ambient noises and sounds. If you want to be, like I said, maybe you want to be in a tropical rainforest and you find a video that has the sounds of that. So literally, as you sit there with your hands over your heart space, you may even be moving your head around as you imagine envisioning the beautiful birds as you listen to them flying back and forth between the trees as you walk through the forest or the jungle, if that's where you want to be. But all you need to do for this 30 minutes is be so immersed in the experience of what you want to experience that you now are vibrating at that vibration level in your heart space. Now, in this, when you find the moment that you are so overjoyed and feel so relaxed and feel so involved in the beauty of all of this, I want you to start taking a deep breath in. Start inhaling in the energy of the experience and then breathe out. And you can even say the words, I release, I release, I release, because you are now releasing the resistance, releasing the need to know how, when, why, all of this. You are in the beauty and the joy of the moment. In that vibration, you are there to release the energy. Then, by the time that timer stops and lets you know it's been 30 minutes, you may almost feel like you're waking up a little from a dream, because you have. You've gone so deep into the levels of creative visualization. You've added the extra element of the ambience, the sound, which is something that made it even more real for you and helped you tune out all the things that would interrupt this session and not bring it. Because remember I said the important thing about manifestation is it's about the caterpillar phase, which is the desire. Many people sit in that caterpillar stage for far too long. Remember, we welcome that caterpillar into our heart space, and it is here within our heart space that we've learned to vibrate at the energy of what we want to manifest, so we become the experience here before we ever physically experience it out there. And using tools like the ambient sounds to help you really, really make it a hugely immersive experience. Not only will this be an amazing way for you to manifest, this is soul food. This is something you should truly enjoy, because this is the way we birth our desires into reality. So now let's go ahead and talk about the last stage, was empowering, trusting your manifestation process. So we talked about some common fears and blocks in the cocoon phase and how to overcome them. Because like I said, so many people don't realize that it is the wanting stage, the caterpillar stage, so many of us are stuck in, because we don't realize we sit there as a caterpillar watching the other butterflies take flight. And that seems like so far away that we don't have the belief that adds to that desire to turn that into the soul fire we need to manifest it. So, encouragement for those feeling stuck. Okay, so let's talk about trusting that transformation is happening. I truly believe when I created the experience of the caterpillar to the cocoon to the butterfly and incorporated the visualization tools of using things like the ambient sound. Now you can go steps further depending on what it is you want to manifest. Maybe you've always wanted to own your own bakery. where you made beautiful pastries and things like that. Well, what would be a way to make that feel even more so? Well, guess what? You could probably throw a batch of even vanilla sugar cookies in, or maybe you have the scent of something you can put in your aroma diffuser for your room, or have a scented candle that smells like fresh baked cookies. That is another thing on top of the sounds. There is ambient videos of individuals like going into a French patisserie in France, that you could maybe have that as the ambient sound and have the scented candle to heighten the experience. So any of these things are very subtle stimulations like scent and sound and the feel of things. Maybe for the bakery it would also be maybe have a cookie or a croissant or something you can taste, that you can sit there and nibble on as you're sitting there really being involved in the sound, the scent, and now the taste. So this is a multi-sensory meditation process that encapsulates all of these beautiful things. It takes the senses that we are born with and uses them to empower us to be able to manifest at such a deeply beautiful and precise way. Because another part of this is when we go from the caterpillar and trying to be the butterfly, there's ways that we lose some of the essence of what it is, and we may get tripped up in the process, that we don't get so clear on how and what in the details, that we are able to fully embrace what we want. And then when the manifestation comes in, it is a match because it is the same vibration that we have already aligned ourselves to in here. So they are like magnets bringing each other together. Okay. Ooh, I'm so excited. So let's talk about two. So one of the things too is the power of energetic self-care. So let's talk about that for just a moment. So one of the things I tell people, and it's an exercise I've used before, it's very simple. I promise you, it takes you less than a minute in the morning and less than a minute at night. This is a heart chakra connection and activation one. I talked about this earlier, so let's talk about this. The awesome part is it takes less than a minute in the morning, less than a minute at night, and there is a tool in this that you will be able to use throughout the day to help keep you aligned with the vibration of the life and the experience that you want to manifest. So in this exercise, the best time to do this is first thing in the morning. And when I mean first thing in the morning, it's not after you get out of bed, because many of us, even before we get out of bed, we're picking up our phone, we're looking at our to-do list, we're checking messages. We've already started the hamster wheel in the brain. So for this to really work, the best time to do this is just as you're starting to wake up, before you put your toe out of the bed, before you picked up your phone, before you start your to-do list or start your I didn't get this done list. I want you to take a moment, close your eyes, put one hand like this, one hand like this, and we are connecting with your heart space. And all you need to do with this exercise is take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, and say the words, thank you. And as you say the words, what you'll realize is when you have your hands placed like this over your heart and you have them pressed against your rib cage, you are going to feel the vibration of every word. Like I am sitting here right now talking to you, I can feel the vibration of every word that I'm saying vibrating through my heart into the palms of my hands. So this is why it's incredibly powerful. So when we do this, we are deeply connecting. We are connecting with our heart space. We are filling it with the powerful healing of gratitude. That's where the thank you comes from. So in this exercise, it's just 3 cycles, I guess you would say, of the same thing. So it's 1 breath in, 1 breath out. Thank you. And do that 3 times in a row. Now, why is it so important that we do this first thing in the morning? Well, the first thing is, it is for us to deeply connect here. Because when we first start waking up and we pick up our phone and all of these things, we are powering up our brain center. So it means we've taken the energy or the power source up from our power source down here, and it's up here. And that's when the hamster wheel starts going. So that's why we want to make sure before that starts, we deeply connect here, and we are filling up our heart space with the power and healing of gratitude. That beautiful vibration is not only very healing for us now, it's very healing for our inner child who also lives in here. It's also what helps power up and gives the extra boost to our inner navigation system that's in here and our connection, our soul connection, because this is the seat of our soul. And when we start our day this way, we are teaching our heart that we deserve love and gratitude first thing in the morning. And we fill our heart space up. So as we move through the day, we're not running on E. We're not going to be soul hangry, which is not a good thing to do because, go to the grocery store and you're hungry. You're going to buy a bunch of stuff you don't need. Same thing through our day. Okay. So the tool to use throughout the day, yes, we are humans. We are going to feel the need to have some kind of help. We're going to feel anxious. We're going to feel nervous. We're going to feel doubtful. We're going to feel all the feelings, which is totally okay. Feelings are feelings. Don't judge them. But when they come in and they rise up, because a lot of this old stuff is rising up to release and heal, okay? So when those emotions come up, let's not judge them. As they come up, what you can do, take one hand over the heart, and all you need to do is breathe in, breathe out. You don't even have to go through the whole process we did in the morning because neuroscience is on your side. Because when we do the action of touching our hand over our heart and doing the breath in and breath out, our brain triggers to remember what we just did that morning, and you will have the same benefits, which means you will fill your heart space back up. You will connect in with your heart space and let your inner child know it's okay. What you're experiencing, my dear one, that's not our now. We're going to go ahead and safely release the energy that does not serve us anymore. So in something as quick as a hand on the heart, breath in, breath out, you have that tool you can use as many times as you need throughout the day. Now, at the end of the day, before you go to bed for the night, this is the next big part of this exercise, and I promise it just takes a minute. The first thing is we are going to understand that we, at the end of the day, are now carrying a lot of other extra energy. People that we know, things that are weighing on our heart, things that feel like we're setting on our shoulders, the responsibility and the energy of all of that weight that's right there. And then on our mind, we have a lot of things that are weighing on our mind. Energetically, we have all of this other energy that's not ours. Well, guess what? That's going to weigh us down when we sleep. It's going to hold us back from really deeply resting while we sleep. And we deserve the rest. So at the end of the day, let's imagine for just a moment that it's like a big, giant, heavy, bulky scarf and maybe a big hat. So at the end of the day, before we get ready to go to bed, imagine that you are literally taking all of those things and peeling them off and setting them maybe on your nightstand, on the dresser, something away from you. Imagine taking all of that energy off. So now we are free to just be us. Now, before we go to bed, we're going to do the same exercise we did in the morning, where we breathe in, breathe out, say thank you. Because at the end of the day, doing a cycle of 3, just like we did in the morning, is very important because we are now filling our heart space back up. We are connecting with our heart center. We are letting our inner child know that we are there to support and love them. And doing this exercise also renews us and sets us in the vibration to heal and clear all of the energy that we don't need while we're sleeping. We're also going to be able to fall asleep easier. We're going to be able to fully rest energetically and physically much better. Now, once you start the cycle of doing this in the morning and at night, remember, and throughout the day, you're going to start finding this is what's going to keep you. This is energetic self-care, or energetic hygiene is what I like to call it. But as you can see, it takes less than a minute to do it in the morning, less than a minute at night. And I'm telling you, this is the most powerful energy that you can use in a very simplistic way for self-care. Because this is what's going to take all of the effort that you're going to be putting into the manifestation process and making sure you're keeping it healthy and renewed. It's like vitamins for it. You're giving yourself the nutrients, the nourishment of this beautiful energy of doing this heart chakra activation. So, like I said, it may sound like a whole lot, but it's incredibly simple. So, let's go ahead and talk. We'll do a little recap of everything we talked about to make sure we've realized and find out exactly. So how interesting is it, right? Now that we went through this whole process, now hopefully you start to understand. So when you look back and think of all the different things, maybe you saw the movie The Secret, or you've seen books, or you've read books or videos, and so many hours and hours of people talking about manifestation, and you feel so like unempowered. You feel like, why isn't it not working for me? Well, don't feel bad, my dear, because you didn't hear the whole story. It's just like the old fairy tales that they would tell when we were little, like the Princess and the Pea, or all those the little fables or things like that. And those fairy tales always had a beginning, a middle, and an end. So don't feel bad if you were the caterpillar sitting there in the middle of all of your desire and want, and looking at all the other butterflies flying around you and understanding why you couldn't fly too. It's okay, my dears. So now that you know the magic, it starts with desire, right? Where we take that desire and we welcome that in our heart space. And remember, we've been doing our energetic self-care. So every day we are working with that beautiful energy of opening up our heart chakra and activating it. Because when we are able to open that up, is when we're able to release doubt, fear, and any of the old emotions and experiences that are sitting within our heart space that are holding us back from being the butterfly that we would like to be. Because we'll talk a little deeper. If you don't know a lot about heart chakras and things, I will tell you the best way to explain it. It's okay. You don't need to know all the big details. When you think about your heart chakra or your heart space, imagine it is a beautiful sacred lotus. That's probably the best one to think of for flowers. And as you imagine, that lotus flower that is your heart center has 33 petals that open up when it blooms. So if you think about that for a minute, if your heart chakra has closed over time, and it's so understandably so, we go through so many things in our life, experiences that have left us kind of feeling we need to protect. And so we shut down many of those petals. They've kind of closed up. And it's okay, my dear. Using the heart activation that I just talked about, doing that every day will help that heart chakra for you start to open up all those beautiful 33 petals. But within those petals are all these little nooks and crannies where there is energy of past experiences or things that may have hurt you that are just setting in there that need to be released. But the only reason they haven't yet, my dear, is because you didn't understand that your heart space is this beautiful flower that may open up fully. And having your heart center, this beautiful flower, open up fully does not mean it leaves you open to being hurt. It doesn't leave you vulnerable. It makes you empowered, because having your heart chakra fully open doesn't mean it's like having your front door wide open in the middle of summer and it's nighttime and you've got the big porch light and you don't have the screen door and you just throw the door wide open and now every bug in the neighborhood is all over your living room and there's moths and the curtains and everything. No, it just means when the beauty of that opens, it means you get to open up and allow in what is for your best, good, and highest intention. It's all of those things. The filtration or the screen door is already in place. It's just the fear that somewhere along the line someone made us believe that if we open up our heart, that we will become vulnerable to being hurt. So, my dear, so back, we did that. So when we talked about the heart chakra activation, we go from the caterpillar, we invite the caterpillar into our heart space where we now have become our heart in full activated, full bloom, right? And in that process, we can now take ourselves from the caterpillar stage, connecting with that meditation then we talked about, remember, where we used at least a 30-minute timer on the phone. We now have our sound, which is our whatever our ambient sound is, whatever will help you manifest what it is that you want to manifest. And then we use other boosters like scent or taste. Maybe it's something that's just incredibly soothing for us. Maybe the scent of vanilla cookies baking makes you feel loved and comforted because that's something that makes you think of your grandmother that has passed and is no longer with you. Anything that can help you immerse yourself more fully in the exercise. Remember, and it's incredibly simple. It's 30 minutes on the timer. It's something ambient sound wise. It could be something that's just soothing, the sound of the waves, or something that encapsulates what you want. Like I talked about, the sound of the ambient sound of like someone walking down the streets in Paris or walking through an art gallery to really, really get you so fully in the moment. And then remember, I said, when you become so one with the vibration and you're so into whatever you're experiencing, that is the time to do the breath in, the breath out. And as you breathe out, you'll release. And that's when you're able to release the resistance, release the doubt, and fully saturate your heart space with the belief that it is already here. And then you activate that heart chakra and you attune it to the vibration of what you want to manifest. And then that is how, from the cocoon, you will emerge into the butterfly, my dears. So from my heart to yours, I send you all so much love. You can do this, I promise. Now that you know the secrets behind this, right? It's not as complicated as it was, right? That's the beauty of it. So now you have this incredibly powerful information. Have some fun with it. Like I said, have fun with it. Oh my goodness. Come up with different ways and things to help you really embrace it. You can do the manifestation exercise. Like I said, it's just 30 minutes of a timer, some kind of ambient sound at least, and close your eyes and just do the VR experience, my dear. And in that moment, remember, when you fully get into it, that's when you start releasing the doubt and you embrace it as is, that you accept it into your heart space, that it is already manifested in your heart space. That is the vibration you reset your heart space to. And that is how you send the signal out to the universe to draw it in. Remember, because we're releasing the need to know the how, the why, the where, all of those things. And leave it up to the universe. Trust me, it's been at it a very long time. It's very good at manifesting. It loves doing it because more joy and embracing everything that people really want to desire from a beautiful place in their heart is how we're going to reset the whole energy on this planet. So you doing this process is not just going to benefit your life. You are going to help raise the vibration of the planet. And that is what I call a double-sided blessing or a double-sided gift. So I am also too going to be uploading. There should be a link down below. There will be a little PDF thing that you can go ahead and download, which is going to give you the whole thing, the walkthrough for the exercises and stuff. And go ahead and put down in the comments if you have any questions or things, or like I said, try this exercise out and then come back in and go down into the comments and let me know how it worked out from you and tell me how it went. And to let you know too, there is also tons of resources. There should be links down below that will take you to my website. I've got all kinds of different exercises, different things to download. They're all free content. I have this podcast that you have now found. There's several more episodes in there. I've got a lot more videos that will be coming in. But thank you so much for everybody that was here. And if you enjoyed this, please, before you leave, go ahead and hit a thumbs up. I really appreciate it because it does help my channel. Maybe share it, or at least go ahead, comment down below, and remember to hit subscribe because I have so many new things besides just this podcast. I'm going to start doing live workshops, and the way you're going to find out when those are coming up is if you subscribe, it will send you an alert to let you know when those are going to be coming up on the calendar. So once again, thank you so much for your time and energy. It was well spent, my dear. Thank you so much. And we're in this journey together. You're not alone, my dear. And thank you so much for your time. I'll see you soon. Bye.